Let's now talk to Chicago Alderman Raymond Lopez. He's a Democrat, and he joins me now. So, Alderman, what's it going to look like this summer in Chicago at the convention?
You know, Jesse, it's only going to get worse the closer we get to the convention. The anger and animosity that's been brewing on the streets of Chicago runs deep, and we've seen that grow exponentially worse with the ever-growing migrant crisis, as we've seen 23,000 individuals bust to the city of Chicago, where you see the black community, which should be the core of the Democratic Party, feel as though they've been abandoned, as you said, that they're no longer feeling the love from Uncle Joe. And they're going to use the world stage when it's here in their backyard to let their anger be known, to let people see that they do not have the full faith and confidence in the Democratic Party, my party, that they gave their unconditional love to anymore.
When I was out on the streets for the Factor, I was listening to everybody, black, white, Hispanic, and I kind of got a sense when Obama was president that he could do no wrong. They loved the guy. He could not make a single mistake, and they'd still have his back. When you talk to people on the streets, what do they say about Joe Biden?
Well, what they say about Joe Biden, and indeed the entire Democratic Party as a whole, is that most of the Democratic voters feel as though this party no longer represents them, that it's been lurching too far to the left, to the extreme, trying to placate the socialists, the squad, and all the rest of them, while leaving a vast majority of our voting base off in the wilderness with nowhere else to go but to the embrace of the Republican Party, which they're not doing willingly, but only because they feel they have nowhere else to go. And in a very close election, which we expect to be between President Trump and President Biden again facing off, losing 10% of your base because you push them to the side can mean all the difference in states like not just Illinois, but in all those swing states that they're going to need to win back the presidency.
Alderman, what did the woman mean when she said she'd rather deal with a snake that's outside in the Republican Party than in the snake that's hiding inside the Democratic Party?
Well, I think what she means and what we hear so often is that people understand what the differences are between the Democratic and Republican Party, and people don't make any excuses for what they will expect out of the Republican Party. They know what your party's views are on immigration, on LGBT, on minority inclusion, things of that nature. They have a pretty good idea where your stances are and how they differentiate from the Democratic Party. But I think what they're worried about is that the Democratic Party vocalizes all kinds of things and then does not deliver. Actually, it does quite the opposite and continues to harm its own voting base while still saying that they are caring about their issues and worrying about their families and basically being hypocritical to all those values that we espouse on a daily basis.
Raymond, it is so funny because you just described how a lot of Republicans feel about the Republican Party. It's all talk, no action. Yeah. They never get anything done. Both parties are totally abandoned the voters, and it's disgusting. And we got to change this country fast. Absolutely. Yep. Thank you very much.
All right, Jesse.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.